Hello and welcome. In this video we are building and backtesting a quite interesting intraday trading strategy on cryptocurrencies. The strategy is that we are building a channel with the rolling maximum high and the rolling minimum low. So the yellow line is the rolling maximum high and the blue line is the rolling minimum low. The red line is the average of the rolling maximum high and the rolling minimum low. So we are simply adding up both lines and divide it by 2. The turquoise line is just the close price of a particular coin. So we are buying the asset or the coin when the close is crossing above the red line, and we are selling when the close is near to the rolling maximum high. In specific, we will check if the close is 0. something percent away from the rolling maximum high. But this parameter is flexible, which I will discuss in the end of this video. Please take a look at the video description for some required knowledge. These are simply things I already covered in previous videos. So what we are going to do is, first we are building and backtesting the strategy, and in the end we will check some parameter optimization. Important disclaimer, all concepts shown in this video are not investment advice. Okay, so let's get started. As you see, we need some libraries: pandas for data handling, NumPy for conditional checkings, the Python Binance library to pull prices from Binance, Matplotlib to visualize our trading strategy, and here I'm instantiating the client. Next, I want to pull prices from Binance, and I'm doing that with a function which I've covered in many previous videos. So what is this function doing? Get data. It is taking a particular symbol, let's say ETH/USDT, and we are providing an interval. In this case, I'm covering a 1 hour interval, and I'm going back 400 hours here, right? And if I'm calling this function for ETH/USDT, you will see that I'm just getting the hourly prices over the last 400 hours here. All right. And this is the data frame we are working with when we are implementing our strategy, which we will do right now. So I'm assigning that to df here, and I'm just adding some columns to this data frame. So first of all, I want to calculate the rolling maximum high. So I'm just calling that roll high or roll max high, whatever you want to call it. And I'm using the high column here, roll over it for a particular window. So I'm just taking 15 hours here as an example, but this parameter you can also optimize here, right? So I'm just taking the rolling max over the last 15 hours. With that, I'm getting a new column here, roll high, and you see that I'm just getting the rolling maximum over the last 15 hours here. All right, and same for the low, just copy pasting and amending some stuff here. So roll low, change that to low, and keep the same window and take the minimum here. So with that, I've got a rolling high and rolling low column containing the rolling maximum high and the rolling minimum low. Now I want to calculate the midline, so the red line from the beginning. And as I said in the beginning, I'm just creating a new column here, mid, and take the roll high column plus the roll low column and divide that by 2. And with that, I have my midline here. And then I want to add a column which is taking a 1 if my close is near the rolling maximum high. So I'm just calling that high approach because the close here is approaching the high. Maybe you have a better name, but I'm just taking it like so. And use NumPy where and check where the close is larger than the rolling high times some percentage, right? So in this case, I'm just taking 0.4% here, right? So am I talking the truth? Yeah, 0.4% I'm taking here. So if my close is 0.4% near the rolling maximum high, I'm getting a 1 in this column, right? So I'm just taking 1, and if not, I'm taking a 0 here. Now I want to also check where my close is above the midline. So I'm just calling that close a mid, close above midline, and I'm just checking numpy where my close is larger than my midline, and if that's the case I want to have a 1, and if not I want to have a 0. Right, so quickly showing you the data frame, how it's looking like. So just have a binary values column here, 0 and 1 here. Okay. Now, as the strategy is that I want to have a cross, so I don't want to buy every time the close is above my midline, but I want to buy when I have a cross. So my close was not above the midline, and then the next time step is above the midline, right? And I'm using a particular logic to that. Let me take an example here. So for example here, you see I have a 1 that my close is above my midline, and here I have a 0, right? So this would be a cross because I have a 0 here, so my close is not above the midline, and here it is above the midline. So here is a cross. But here I have a 1, but this is not a cross because before it already was above the midline. So I have to implement something to check if the previous row was not in position here, right? And you can make use of the difference function here and just check if the difference is 1. So the difference is just the row-wise difference. So the difference of these two rows would be 1 minus 0, so 1. And the difference of these two rows would be 1 minus 1, 0. So I can just check for those rows where I have a difference of 1 here. And then I know this is a crossover. So here the close is crossing above the midline. Okay, so I'm just calling that mid cross here and take df close above mid, difference is 1. Alright, and with that I have everything what I need to implement my strategy. So instead of using any vectorization here, what I did in many of my previous videos, I'm taking the good old loop. So I'm looping over the whole data frame here and just checking where I have a cross, right? So I have a true value here. Then I want to buy, and I also want to be in a position, right? So I want to have a Boolean value which is being set to false in the beginning, and when I'm entering the position, so when I have a mid cross true here, I want to set the position to true, and then I want to loop further until my selling condition is fulfilled, so my high approach, so this column here is 1, right? So let's solve that with the good old looping logic. We are starting with setting the initial position to false, and we are also setting up two empty lists here, by dates, sell dates. Then we are looping over every row in this data frame, so for I in range, length of the data frame. And first of all, we are checking if we are not in a position, we want to check the buying conditions, right? So if not in position, which is initially the case, want to check the buying condition, and our buying condition is just that we have a true value in the mid cross column here, right? So the close is crossing above the red line. So we're just checking if df ilog I mid cross is true, and now we want to append to our buying dates list or by dates list here, right? So by dates append. Now important to note here is we cannot take the same row, otherwise we would have a forward-looking bias here. We are only able to buy on the next time steps open here, right? So we are taking df ilog I plus 1, and I'm taking the name as the name is just the buying date here. So the name of the series is the buying dates. I'm quickly showing you what I'm talking about. So if I'm taking df ilog let's take the very first one here, and you see that the name is my time stamp here, right? So this is why I'm taking the name here, nothing more than that. Okay, so I'm appending to my buying dates list, and I'm just taking the next row here to avoid a forward-looking bias. And if that's the case, if I append to my buying list, so if I'm getting a buying signal, I'm also in a position, so I'm setting the in position variable to true here. That's for the buying part. Now selling part is if I'm in a position, then I want to check my selling condition here. So my selling condition was my high approach column having a 1 here, right? So I can take if df log high approach then I want to append to my selling list. I can just copy paste here. It's the same logic. So I can just take sell dates and set my in position variable to false again, as I'm not in the position anymore when I sold. And that's already it for this loop. So let's run it. And now we have our buying dates and our selling dates, and we can use that to visualize our strategy. So let's plot our columns we are interested in. So our close column we need, our rolling high, or rolling max high, our rolling minimum low here, and our midline. And we also want to have the signals, right? So buying and selling signals. We're using a scatter plot to achieve that. And now provide our x-axis, which are our buy dates. And our y values are just the prices on these buying dates, right? So I can just use df log buy dates and take the open price. Setting the marker to the caret character, give the flag a green flag here as this is a buying signal, and set the size to 200 so that we can actually see something. Same logic for the sell dates here, or the sell signals rather. Screening for the sell prices, set the marker to a V, color to a red, and that should be it to visualize it. Yeah, setting a figure size so that we can actually see anything here. So PLT figure size, and as you see, we are getting the strategy visualized here. All right. Now, if you want to have it as fancy as I had it in the beginning, just as a hint, you can use PLT style use dark background. All right. Okay. Now the question is, did we make profit? And let's move on to analyze our trades here. So first of all, wanna create a data frame out of the buying dates, the selling dates, and the buy prices and sell prices. Right. So I'm just calling that trades data frame. Use pandas data frame function. Provide my buy dates, sell dates, my buy prices, so I can just copy paste from above here. So buy prices and sell prices, sell dates, and with that we are getting data frame like this. So I'm just transposing it to get it like this. So I have a data frame containing buy prices, sell prices, buy dates, sell dates, buy prices and sell prices here. So I can just set the columns to what they actually are. So buy prices, sell prices, and now I have everything where I need. So why is this a non-value here? Because we don't have a selling signal yet, right? You also see that in the chart. So we bought here and we didn't got a selling signal yet. So I can just take trade CF, drop NA, in place true to get rid of this trade, which I cannot evaluate yet. Now let's take the data frame and calculate our profits, right? So our profit is just our sell price minus our buy price, and to get the relative profit, we are taking the difference of those two values here and set that in relation to our buy price and get the relative profit. So we are taking trade CF, profit, relative, and take the trade CF sell price minus trade CF buy price and set that into relation to the buy prices. So this is looking like this. We have a relative profit per trade here, right? And as we want to have our net profit, so we are subtracting the Binance trading fees, which are 0.07%. So 0.0075, even a zero more. So as this is the cost per one trade, and buy and sell is consisting of two trades, we want to multiply that by 2. So every transaction here costs us 0.0015%. So we are subtracting that to get our net profit here, right? So we want to show it as realistic as possible here. So just taking the net profit here, but this is optional. You can also test it out without subtracting the trading costs here, but of course it's more realistic if you do so. So profit well minus 0.0015 here. Okay, and now let's see if we made profit. So we can just take the net profit, add a 1 to that, and take the product out of that. So this is nothing more than accumulating returns. I've covered that in other videos. So we would have made 2.1%, which is actually pretty nice. Now let's, maybe this is just luck, right? So let's stress it a bit by, for example, let's take a look back of 1K hours here and see if we still make profit. Just executing all that stuff again. Okay, that now I'm quite interested if we made profit with that. Yeah, but still we made 8% profit here, right? So yeah. As I said, a quite interesting thing to check out, probably. Let's do some more stuff. So maybe we are just lucky with the asset. Let's take Bitcoin here. Look back of 1K hours again. Here we made loss, you see? So yeah, but maybe, and this is the point where we are going in the next step, maybe we just don't have the right look back period. So if I'm taking a 10 here, maybe this will change. Maybe it is even worse than that. So I don't know about that. Yeah, it is even worse than that, right? So if we are extending that maybe to 25, then we are getting 6% here again, right? So what I just wanted to show you with that is that for a particular coin, there could be different profitable look back periods, and this is what I want to do in the next video, right? So what we will do, so you can do it for yourself if you already want to check that, want to wrap all that trading logic here into some functions and calculate where our best look back windows, and in addition to that, we also want to take this approaching the rolling maximum high to a flexible parameter, and then just check, okay, for what window and what discount here I'm getting the best trade for which asset, right? So if you're interested in that, let me know below. Thank you very much for watching. Maybe we could make a bot out of that, also possible. And yeah, again, thank you very much for watching, and I hope this video was interesting, helpful, and I'm excited and looking forward to see you in the upcoming videos. Bye bye.